We got it live. What's up, YouTubers? Justin R. Harris here, back with business solution scenarios for solutions, solving it all, right? Jumping right into the business. Welcome back. I'm glad you guys are keeping on track with this as we dig right in. Like I said, if you want to follow along, the description below, click the link, get the book. I also put the link in there for the other book, The One Thing. I feel like that's another book that helps you business wise. So I left that link there as well. Great for really dialing it in what it is that is your one thing by Gary Keller. So now we got two on there. All right. Go and check those out. Eventually, I think I'm just going to put my whole book collection on there. And then you guys just go on there and just grab some knowledge, right? And see what it is that Justin is talking about as I'm dropping stuff on you. So today's topic is really about nonprofit organizations and how those help communities, right? And what Mr. Drucker gets into is really the explanation of where he was headed at the time when they wrote this book in 2004. So think about 2004, and he was solving those problems then are still today's problems now, but now you're actually, based on the things that he has explained, you're able to now kind of put it together and be like, wow, yeah, I remember that then, and look where we are now, for those of you that were familiar back then. And you're able to kind of look backwards and know that he was talking about us in the future. We are the future according to 2004. Get it? Right. So kind of being short with that because I don't want to waste time talking about that, because I really want to dig right in and read this to you. Civilizing the city. Here it is. Civilizing the city will increasingly become top priority in all countries, particularly in the developed countries such as United States, United Kingdom, Japan, right? So, however, neither government nor business can provide the new communities that every major city in the world needs. That is the task of non-governmental, non-business, non-profit organizations. Only the social sector can create what we now need, communities for citizens, and especially for the highly educated knowledge workers who increasingly dominate developed societies. Think about that. So think about some of the things that we're doing right now and how it has gotten away from the structure of corporate, right? Like I said, we're kind of in that period now where everyone thinks they're an entrepreneur and it is more of the nonprofit, right? Kind of leered away from that, but there's a control, right? Things get a little crazy and too far to one way or too far to the other, and then we kind of end up right back where we need to be as we balance things out and we test things. There isn't a failure unless you quit, right? So you put things out there, you bring it back in, you analyze, you evaluate, you go back out again. Okay. So the only social sector, so I'm trying to catch back in here, can create what we now need, communities for citizens, and especially the highly, okay, so that's where I backed up right there. One reason for this is that only nonprofit organizations can provide the enormous diversity of communities we need, from churches to professional associations, right? And also from the organizations taking care of the homeless and health clubs, right? The nonprofit organizations are also the only ones that can satisfy the second need for the effective community, the need for effective citizenship. And he explains, he elaborates from there. He says the 20th century saw an explosive growth of both government and business, especially in the developed countries, right? You would agree. Okay. What the 21st century needs above all is equally explosive growth of the nonprofit social sector and building communities in a newly dominant social environment in the city. So his action point at that point is reflect on your favorite nonprofits and how they can help create new communities in the cities, right? So you have to think about that. Look at some of the things that we are doing moving forward, how everyone is kind of really their own business, and if you will. And because of that, they're nonprofit in the sense that they're only being able to pay for the things they need to do to continue fueling some of the things that they're doing, helping others. We have a lot more of that happening now. What do you call that? You call that philanthropy, right? So they're out there and they're doing things to help others. We're creating more purpose. There's no reason for someone to be a trillionaire. You're never going to spend that money. So how do you use it now to help others? Now that you have a tool that has allowed you to make money in such an abundance that you can now decide, you know what? I'm going to use some of this and I'm going to find purpose and help those get some of the same opportunities that maybe they would have never seen in a lifetime, right? There you go. As your action point, configure a structure and structure something like that where it can help you, where you can give back. Because when you're genuine about someone else's needs, it comes back to you, right? I'm not talking about spirituality or any of that stuff. I'm just talking about human nature here, right? Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's keep it going. Tune in for the next episode.